Hello.
Hello.
Hey,
Oh,
everybody.
come on, Molly.
Oh,
Did it again.
No, we keep it in.
Leave that there.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'll
It's
put a
fine.
whole bunch of arrows around her saying, shame, shame.
No,
What did
it's
I
okay.
do?
You were like 3 seconds behind.
All right.
I'm
welcome.
sorry.
You're
You
fine.
should be.
Welcome back to Molly's Incompetence and to Nerdmageddon D&D.
I'm
Yes.
just good at shooting. Leave me alone.
Yeah. All right.
We are now entering the next phase of this campaign. So, DM Simon, take it away.
So you guys just finished up beating the king. Again, not the original king, but you just finished up beating
Ancestor.
the ancestor, the first king.
We
So he
like
was the
Regicide
original
in this
king.
group.
Yes,
Hmm?
yes we do.
So from a certain point of view, you could say he was the original king.
Yeah, he was.
So
He was the first king, pretty much.
Nice.
But so Corbett, on your map,
yes.
you keep seeing that like you have been holding it the right way,
Mm-hmm.
and like in this room, like I said before, there's like an arch behind the coffin, but it looks like it's like been bricked up or like stoned out,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
blocked out.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the direction your map says you should be going.
So guess what, everybody? Turns out the way we need to go is through that wall.
Oh, quick
Who's got the
question.
hardest
Are we
match?
at full health for this session? Or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You guys aren't
Yeah.
going to be fighting anything anyway. I'm just going to let you guys know that. This is all going to be story.
Okay.
So, no worries.
So yeah, who's got the hardest head so we can break down this wall?
You.
Huh.
Blackbeard immediately like raises his hand, although he was barely conscious before. He's like, I can try.
We are not using a head.
No, you have brain damage probably. Please don't.
Good question. Are we level 12 now?
You guys are level 11.
We're
Yeah.
level 11.
Yes, level 11.
Wait, are you?
Yes, we're level 11.
No, you guys should be
Yeah.
level 12. You guys leveled up after
We did?
that fight. Yeah. But you
Okay.
guys don't need to worry about like abilities and stuff yet, because I mean it's like there's nothing to be fighting in this session. So
I just want to have it
If you say so.
back up, or like, just so it's already done, because I forget.
that's fine.
I could use Fireball and like blast it open.
Fireball.
Fireball
Well,
work. That would work. I just
could
make
do
sure I'm
that.
standing way over here.
But before you do that, Blackbeard gets to his feet and he starts charging that end of the room with his head down.
Yes!
Can I grab him?
Make a dexterity check.
I'm watching this with a big grin on my face. This is awesome. I'm like, yes!
Stop him!
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 18.
18. You do grab a hold of him and you basically grab him, and when you do, like your force of you grabbing him just makes him spin around and run into the other wall.
Oh no!
Don't beat up the
Ah.
wolves!
Oh, sorry, buddy, but that's the wrong wall. Nice going.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Fireball and see if that will open
Okay.
the door.
Okay. You don't need to roll to hit or anything. You basically just shoot a fireball, and as
Yeah.
it goes to the wall, the area, it just goes right through it, like straight through it,
Uh-oh.
and it just like it seems that this wall is a mirage.
We hear the explosion on the other side.
You do, yeah.
Let's hope that wasn't anything important.
I slowly approach the wall, like with a hand extended, and try to see if my hand goes through that portion of the wall.
When you approach the wall and you put out your hand does in fact just go straight through the wall.
I'm like, oh, well, that makes things easier.
You have
Well,
found
I
a
know
trick
that.
wall. There you go.
Let's get out of here before our lovely Miss people awaken more evil things.
Oh, ha, ha, ha. You're so clever.
Oh, not many people say that. Thank you. Thank you. Finally being recognized.
So you guys start walking through this this mirage wall, and it actually leads you up a set of stairs. And when you open it up, it's basically like a storm door that's hidden within like a fallen tree, right outside of the walls of the city.
Nothing's on fire, right?
Nothing's on fire. It looks a little charred.
Okay.
Just looks a little charred.
Fun.
So if somebody wants to make a perception for me real quick.
I will roll.
Anybody can do it.
I will. Or a D20.
19.
19.
I think 24.
Perception. Crap. Numbers. 17 plus 25.
25. Okay. So you guys all see a cart nearby, and those of you who were in the first chapter of this game recognize the cart driver.
Yes!
Hey!
Syracuse, the cart driver. And he's looking at you guys. He's like, "Get in the cart! Come on, get in the cart!"
Alright.
And you guys, as he finishes his sentence, you guys hear like war horns from up the hill.
That's
Let's
not
get in the car.
good.
Let's go.
Just like from the top of the hill, just and
I run
like
deep into the back of the car.
Syracuse is like taking off at this point. I need you guys to all make a dex check for me.
Okay. That's 20.
At 20,
17.
17,
23.
23. Molly,
Sorry, I can't do math. 23.
23. Okay, good. You guys all catch up with the back of the cart. Now I need you guys to make an athletics check to hop onto the cart.
Okay.
Ooh.
So,
Can I
we do
acrobatically
acrobatics?
flip onto the cart?
Yeah, you can do acrobatics if you're able to.
Thank God.
that would be an
Yeah,
18
thank
for me.
goodness. That's a 16.
Okay.
21.
Okay.
17.
17. All right. And so you guys all are able to hop on the cart. The dwarves get on safely. And Molly, can you make a perception for me?
Sure. Okay, give me a sec. That would be 10 plus 8, 18.
18. You see, coming up over the hill, like at the top of the hill, pretty much the entire city guard, and leading the city guard, you see a man standing there.
Oh no.
He's holding the city's banner,
Oh no.
and he's in ornate armor with a nice red flowing cape, and he's a ruggedly handsome man.
Oh no.
Oddly specific details.
And you recognize this as Chud Martin.
I knew it!
Chad, no!
And he's looking on disappointedly. Like he does not, he looks very sad.
I have one reaction.
Hmm.
I have one reaction to this, but it's not very nice.
Okay.
Do it.
I flip him off.
Okay. You just flip him off. And he sees that, and as he does, he just kind of turns back to his group, and they start walking away back into the city. And you guys are traveling through the forest. And the whole time you guys are, Syracuse is like cursing you guys out. He's like, "You guys didn't even tell me you were gonna be doing this. What the fuck?" Like he's freaking out.
Just sitting here
Exactly sure
having
what
no
we're
idea
getting
who
ourselves
this is.
into either.
Look, you could have told me that this was what you were planning. You didn't say anything to me.
This honestly was not our plan.
We also honestly didn't realize we had to tell you our plan.
Well, I would have liked to know because I'm your friend, okay?
Oh, we're friends?
Don't get
I don't have a lot of those.
Don't get too big of a head laughter.
Aw.
I'm sorry, but to be honest, this really wasn't necessarily a plan for us either. It kind of happened.
Well, I mean, yeah.
It just
It was kind of planned.
That's what my parents said about my brother.
What was your plan?
They were hired by the king, or the king and his lackeys, to go and find an ingredient for a potion to help the king live longer. And instead, they came back and killed the king.
And joined the cult.
I didn't even see the king. He was under a spell, and then when he passed on, he said thank you.
Well, yeah, I'm glad you guys did it because I know now, but I mean, this is more trouble than it is. Also, who are you? He says to Corbett.
Oh yeah, he was the one that I say that we just found. He had a map. He kind of got us out, so.
Yeah. My name is Knuckles, and without me, they would have been stuck down there. But I must ask though, you already killed a king, so that brings your total of what? 3 kings you've killed now? How many?
2.
2.
Only
They
2.
killed another one down there in the catacombs.
There was another. That's weird. You know what? I don't even want to know. I don't want to know.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Love you.
Look,
You're great.
look. I got contact from the people in the city. They told me that I needed to be ready to pick you guys up, and we were gonna all get to Lorien and be hunky-dory for the time being, and then, you know, all that will work out.
Lorien. I've always wanted to go to Lorien.
Well, I mean, there's not much to see there. We were there already.
Yeah.
It's
a
better
wasteland.
than cell walls. That's what I've seen for the past 8
Why
years.
were you locked up anyway?
Oh, so you guys brought a criminal onto my cart. Okay.
I was wrongfully imprisoned. Thank you very much. In fact, the whole reason my time was extended is because I escaped twice, and then they had to lock me up even tighter. So, their fault, not mine. I am an innocent man, I assure you.
You also technically invited him onto
Me?
your card.
That is true. You did tell me to get on the cart,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but like
What-
hell, I'd go back the other way.
Semantics.
Indeed.
Anyway, do you know where we're going?
Lorien, duh. Weren't you listening?
I'm making sure he has directions.
I took you guys there. That was where you
Okay.
guys were supposed to go get the ingredient.
Exactly.
I know where
I
I'm
trust
going.
you, cart driver.
Thank you. See, this guy knows what's up. The
Appreciate
dwarves are still kind of out of it. Or Blackbeard is.
Surprise.
Yeah, because he crashed his head into a wall.
Mhm.
I didn't know the wall was fake. I didn't want him actually crashing his head. It was an accident.
No, that's fine. I get
What
it.
was damaged more, the wall or his head?
The wall.
the Dugo.
The wall. Dwarves have stone hard heads, so they're fine.
Yes.
That's why they're so stubborn.
But you do see Caden is looking up at the sky. It's a nice, clear, starry night as you guys are driving through the wilderness. And he's looking up at the sky, and he mentions, he's just like, I don't think I've ever seen the sky this clear.
What?
You should get out more. And that's coming from me. I grew up in a city.
Well, it's kind of tough when you're locked up as a slave in the city's mines.
Could have went away.
So, whenever I did see the sky, it was behind burning coal and choking air.
So while he's looking at the sky, could my character kind of start pointing out the different constellations to him?
Absolutely. Roll okay, you're gonna roll an intelligence check, either history or nature. Whichever one is higher for you. Okay, yeah, just roll it.
17.
17? Yeah. You know the really big ones, and you can spot them really easily. So, like, you point out most of them. What's up?
Could I do minor illusion and, like, bring them, like, kind of, like, animate them? So, like,
Yeah.
like the animals and stuff?
Yeah. And when you do that, he's just having, like, a great time. Like, there's, like, a single tear strolling down his cheek because he's, like, so happy right now.
Baby.
Sorry, I got very excited. I love it when, like, characters are precious beings because I want to protect them.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that this character was, like, a sweet guy. Because, I mean, he's known nothing but the mines. So,
You've done a great job so far, Simon.
thank you.
I barely met the guy, and I can tell that. So.
Get my backstory.
Yeah, it's fine. Just as long as it's by next session, we're fine.
Yeah.
And then Miss Germanium is still kind of tending to Blackbeard's wounds. Blackbeard's stable now. He's still, I mean, again, he's still a little bit out of it, and he's like dozing in and out of sleep.
Mm.
And Miss Germanium's just kind of watching him, making sure he doesn't stop breathing or anything like that.
Okay.
And you guys ride through the forest, and very uneventfully, you make it to Lorien by daybreak.
Nice.
And when you do, you actually see more people there than you're expecting.
Oh.
You see a bunch of dwarves, a mix of the 3 different dwarves that you guys have. And you also see a good amount of halflings, along with other assemblies of races mixed up, all wearing similar uniforms, and you recognize those uniforms as the cult robes that Halen was having everybody wear. And
Nice.
in the center of the dilapidated city, you see little black dwarf Zavis, and he's kind of standing on like a little foothill enough so he's kind of like overseeing everybody. And he sees the cart pull up, and he immediately comes down and like waddles over to greet you guys, and basically are like, "I'm so glad you guys are here now. We need to get this ritual started."
Ritual? Ritual.
Yeah, you guys were getting the dwarves to bring back to reestablish the city and return it to its former state.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, because you were gone. I forgot. We regrouped in the catacombs, and that wasn't relayed to you very well.
Yeah.
Nope.
No. Okay. Well, that's kind of cool.
That's totally, yeah, it's fine. So the 3 dwarves, huh?
I found this one. Well, Corbett's kind of in my bottom right-hand corner.
Oh, I'm above you in this. So. I'm just kind of taking it all in, although I'm more and more self-conscious about the fact that I'm still dressed in prison clothes, so I'm like kind of hiding behind people to not be too obvious until I have the opportunity.
Oh, trust me, nobody cares. Nobody cares. You're amongst other criminals and thieves and
I wouldn't know.
outcasts.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, that's fair.
No.
That's fair. So Zavis grabs the 3 dwarves, brings them over to the little foothill, and goes through this very interesting ceremony. It's almost like crowning them again. He has 3 different crowns, and as he goes through the group, he starts with Blackbeard, and he puts on this large golden crown. And it's not very ornate, but it's just like a gold band with like mountain-shaped art deco on it. And he presents him as the last member of the Blackbeard clan. And then he puts like a flower crown on Miss Germanium's head. And these are like very, very beautiful flowers, not just like little daisies or anything. It's like a mix of roses, lilacs, tulips. It's like a ton of different colored flowers. And he introduces her as the last remaining member of the Germanium clan, And then when he gets to Caden, he puts this like black band on his bald head, and it's a very simple like band, and it's made out of stone, so it's like onyx or obsidian almost. Puts it on his head, presents him as the last Duergar. And once all three of their crowns are on, you basically just see, like, it almost looks like the ground is breathing. Like, you can kind of feel it starting to shift beneath you guys. And you see some of the houses starting to become rebuilt. You see Zavis looking a little bit less sickly and starting to look more invigorated. And the whole crowd is just quiet this whole time. Like, it just seems like that there's nothing else going on in the world except for this thing.
How are our three dwarf friends looking?
They look fine. They're just kind of sitting there. They've kind of realized that they've become the leaders of this capital, and they're kind of taking it all in, and they seem at home. Like, they seem totally fine with everything that's happening.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
This is weird.
I'm a little surprised they weren't sacrificed.
Yeah,
I'm
you don't
not.
expect that, yeah.
But okay.
This is really weird.
No one cares.
I'm just gonna
Seriously, what in the Nine Hells is going on? Someone explain this to me.
When Corbett's character says that, Halen leans over to him and is just like, so they're basically rebuilding the city with magic. Because it was destroyed by magic.
That's
Logical.
logical.
Yes.
They're
Yeah,
pretty much using the power that was left over by the people who died in the war here to rebuild the city.
Use the
That's
souls of
amazing.
the dead people to make a new foundation for this city.
So
What could
it's,
possibly go wrong?
I think so too. It's great. I've never seen anything like this, even from back home. Once the city is slowly finished being rebuilt, you see in the center of the city where there's like the big hearth just boom erupt into flames, and like the city feels well lit, it feels safe, it feels protected, and it seems like everything is good there now. Like it feels like a well-established land again. And you look around and everybody's like cheering and they're all so excited, and then out of nowhere the ground starts shaking.
Uh-oh.
And you can see on Zavis's face that this is not something that's supposed to happen. So the ground is shaking for a little while. None of the buildings are falling over or anything, but it's like it's a decent earthquake, like lasts about a minute and a half.
Well.
Is everyone okay?
Yeah, everybody's fine. A few people fell over and lost their footing, but otherwise, everybody's fine. They're all just kind of confused and a little freaked out, like what just happened.
I'm gonna make sure. I'm just gonna probably go and help people back up.
Sure.
Could I roll Arcana and see if like magic was involved with like the earthquake? Like, what might the reason be? Or
Sure.
get kind of close?
Yeah, sure.
Can I try to see if there's like anyone in the surrounding area that's not in like the center of where we are?
Yeah, that'd be a perception.
26.
You guys ever kill the Lich?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they did.
That was
Okay,
the first
I don't know if he
king.
disappeared or if you guys got him.
That was the first king they killed.
That wasn't
that
a king.
wasn't a
it
king.
was-
No, it was his
Oh.
advisor.
All right.
But yeah,
I killed the
26.
first king.
So, Corey, what was your Arcana roll again?
26.
26. So it's really hard to tell because there's so much magic happening right here in the center of the city. But you feel something is off. Like
Okay.
the natural order, like the weave that you've been taught to know, feels like it's kind of coming undone.
Oh yeah, they just use the
Okay.
souls of dead people to rebuild the city. That sounds pretty unnatural to me.
It feels like a little looser than it should be.
Mhm.
You can feel that your magic is still fine. Like you can still use your magic the same way, but something in the air feels weird. And Molly, what were you checking?
If there was like anyone off in the woods or around us, and I got a 19.
Sure. Looking around, you don't see anybody like hiding off in the woods. You see like members of like the cult who are like standing guard on the edges of town to make sure nobody comes in and ruins this. But they're all kind of like looking around, making sure like everyone's okay. Otherwise, there's like nobody else around.
Okay.
Zavis, he comes off of the foothill and approaches your group, and he's just like, "What the hell was that?"
I have no idea.
Something's off.
I know, I can feel it.
Me too.
I mean,
Any
I don't know what
idea?
it could have been. I mean, I feel fine. I feel better than I have ever. Like, I'm back to pretty much godhood.
Yeah, like my magic is still intact, but I don't know. Revitalization magic, necromancy, whatever you want to call it, this doesn't feel right.
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Maybe it'd be good if you guys went to Karsus.
Curses?
To talk to the Dragonborn scholars. See if they know anything.
I might have some friends there who can help.
Okay. Because I don't know what else this could be. It's just, I mean, something is off. That's all I know. I don't know anything. That's all I can guess.
Yeah.
Aelin's kind of standing in the back. He's kind of like confused, thrown off a little bit, and he's like clutching at his robe a little bit, and he's just kind of like looking around, confused.
You okay there?
What'd you say?
I turned to Halen. I'm like, "Are you okay?"
Like, yeah. I need a minute. And he kind of wanders off to go talk to his cult people again.
That's why they shouldn't have used magic.
Magic isn't inherently evil.
Also, they had to use magic.
Why did they have to?
Because it was a whole thing.
This land,
Why you can't just rebuild it by hand? It'd take longer, but
this
The
land was
rebuilding-
destroyed by magic.
yeah.
It has been warded against people. People could not live here feasibly if we were to rebuild it by hand because it is cursed.
They were
So,
lifting a curse.
bringing
And
the
also-
bloodlines back
It's magic.
lifted the curse.
And now we have an almost god on our side.
Exactly.
Can I go and talk to the cult leader?
Halen?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask him, what did you feel?
You catch him by surprise because he's still kind of spacey. You catch him by surprise, and he's just like, "Oh, I don't know. I felt the earth shaking. And did anybody else hear any whispers?"
No?
Mm-mm.
Probably not.
No.
I mean, who's all with me while I'm talking to him?
Well, he's
I'll be
close
there.
by, so you guys are all kind of able to hear him.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he's like, "Yeah, I heard whispers. I couldn't make out what they were saying, but it felt like it was right next to my ear and just almost incomprehensible."
That doesn't sound good.
Was there
Okay.
any word that may have stood out that you could have caught?
I don't. He takes a second and he kind of looks around, and he moves back over to where he was standing earlier and just kind of stares off at the foothill. And then he comes back and he's just like, I heard the word beginning.
Okay.
That's all I remember. I wish I could tell you more.
No, and that's okay. Just
Yeah.
get some water, sit down.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. And he kind of walks away.
Well, everyone should be safe for now, but we shouldn't delay getting to Karthus.
Yeah, so let's head out now and then go from there.
Let's see if
Right.
Syracuse is up for another travel.
Syracuse he's just like, oh, you guys need my card again?
Is that okay?
Well, I mean, considering I can't go back to the city because I'm harboring fugitives, I mean, yeah,
Technically, you weren't harboring us. You just helped us escape.
that's not any better.
Incarcerate him for it.
No, I know that's not any better, but there's a difference. I would know.
I'm willing to pay you for the travel.
Look, it's fine. You guys are my friends. I have nothing better to do now, so we can just head out.
Okay.
Thank you.
So you guys start the long-ish trek to Karthus. Takes you through a lot of nice wilderness area. Up into this, like down along the coast, and pretty much into this humid sort of area. But as you guys continue on, you see the dirt slowly change from brown into like red. And you come closer and you start to see the structures in the distance. They are massive, bigger than anything that was in U4, even though U4 is like the capital of the continent. Like the one thing that you notice first is pretty much a large ziggurat, like massive, and then where the tip comes out, another kind of comes out, so it looks almost like an hourglass, and it's made out of completely just black stone. And there are tons of like tall buildings, and they seem to be residential buildings, and the city is much less crowded than the capital. And one thing you do notice is the abundance of dragonborns. They are everywhere.
So open. It's weird seeing streets that are like not bustling with people.
Yeah.
So many dragonborn too. Gosh, I almost never saw those back at the capital. This is such a different
You were also in
environment.
prison for a majority of that time.
Huh?
You were also in prison for a majority of that time.
Oh, I meant before I was in prison too. I mean, it was plenty busy before I was locked up.
Yeah. Well, let's see if
to us.
What was that, Kenzie? I didn't hear you.
Should any of us do checks on how they may react to us?
I mean, I've
I've
been there.
venturing party.
Yeah, they aren't really like shocked because they see other people all the time.
Oh, okay.
Because I mean, they have traders come through. They have, I mean, like people coming down here for vacations because it is a very nice climate. It's literally a peninsula, and it's got like miles of long red sand beaches. So it's a very nice place, actually. It's just that this is also like a very scholarly town. So you see a lot of dragonborns walking around in robes, or carrying staffs, or carrying lots of books and equipment, usually for spell casting or spell research.
Okay.
And you guys are kind of driving through town, and Syracuse looks to Laughter and is like, you said you had a contact in this town, right?
Yeah, I have a couple of friends. We studied magic together.
Okay, do you want me to just drop you off at the big black building over there?
Yeah.
Okay. And you guys get dropped off in front of this massive ziggurat. You see tons of people like both entering and leaving, and you can only assume this is pretty much like the college.
Yeah.
And as soon as you guys get off, Laughter, you feel, you just feel like at home. This is like where you lived for a very long time. This is where you learned how to use magic. This is where most of your friends are, and you basically end up leading the party up into the big black building.
Okay.
Is it stairs?
Yes.
There are stairs.
It's fine.
Yeah. So I have one. They're kind of a professor, I guess. They might be our best chance at figuring out what happened.
Sounds good. Let's go. Lead the way.
We'll make sure not to say anything.
Yeah, so I guess I just kind of like walk around the building because I'm sure some of it's changed a little bit since I've been there.
There's some stuff that's a little different. Like they changed the main hall from like a practice area into like a reception area now.
Okay.
So you don't see people slinging spells at each other anymore. It's just like there are like benches and desks, and there are people just kind of like sitting there communing, and like it seems like they're mostly studying instead of actually using their spells.
Yeah, how boring. Yeah, so I lead them to an office, and I knock on the door.
All right. You take them to this office, and when you knock on the door opens after like one knock, and you see a familiar face. Funny enough, it is not a dragonborn. It is an elven woman, and she looks at you, and she's just like, "Oh God, you're back."
Hey! Kind of need some help figuring out an issue.
And who are these people?
Some friends of mine. You know me. Always have a little menagerie.
Yeah. All right. Come on in. Take a seat.
What's the room look like? I'm gonna go around the room to see what all is in here.
It's actually sort of like a classroom. It's big enough to be a classroom, at least to fit about like 20, 25 people. But there is a good-sized desk, and there are just litanies of books in scrolls along the walls. Not much other decoration other than that. This seems like a very just like boom, like analytic, scholarly room. And as you guys sit down, the elven woman turns to you. She says, I should probably introduce myself to those of you who don't know me. My name is Dr. T, short for Talamere. Don't use my full name, please. Just call me Dr. T. Laughter here, as is the name you want to go by. She was a student of mine before she decided to ditch graduation and go off on her own adventures. And I still haven't forgave you for that. You had so much potential.
This makes
Practical uses. Still putting all that potential to use.
Yeah, making people laugh is nice in these times, I guess.
Oh, if only you knew. So, I
What seems to
explained
be
to her.
troubling you?
I explained to her what happened at the little town and my experience with like the fraying of reality.
So you're telling me that I'm harboring fugitives in my office right now?
Wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
There's a story. I want to know it. What a different time.
well, from what you said, rituals like this can be a little dangerous. And obviously, as you mentioned, this was performed by a demigod who seems to be the patron of the city, which is strange because usually it works out fine that way out of the times that I've heard of it happening or read of it happening. But something does seem off. We've had our professors continue their research, and some of them have actually left the city to go do field research to see if anything has changed across the continent. We haven't heard from them. Obviously, it's only been about a week. But, I mean, my theory is that it could have just been a large enough spell that it took a little too much out of the weave, and the weave is starting to repair itself. That's what I'm thinking. But I have been wrong before.
Wait, so you had other professors go out to do field work, and it's been a week and you haven't checked in at all?
Well, the earthquake happened a week ago. Traveling here took you guys a week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it took you guys a little bit to get there.
But still, like, you would want to usually check in with someone like 4 to 5 days if they were doing a field study with something that was pretty dangerous.
Depending on how they check in.
See, now, there was only a few of the professors who left via dimensional door. So, we've heard back from 2 of them. 2 of them have said that nothing strange has happened, but the other 4 we haven't heard from. And the other ones who traveled by cart may have actually just gotten to their places or locations, depends on how far they were going. But the last person who traveled planar door, we haven't heard from. And he was sent out a week ago.
Which dimension was he sent to?
He wasn't sent to a dimension. He just used the door to skip space and arrive at a different part of the continent.
Well, where was he going?
He was going north to the Ashes. And I know you hate that place. I'm not going to send you there. I don't want you to be sent there.
Yeah, let's not go there.
I think it would be fair or be right of me to at least try to augur and see where he is. So give me a few seconds. And she turns around and she grabs like this large like copper bowl, puts it on her desk, and she pulls out from the bowl like a handful of like small bones. And she puts them on her desk and like rubs them across the desk, and then from her hands, like a little spark in between her hands, like light a small flame, and a little bit of ash falls out over the bones. She quickly scoops them up and drops them back into the bowl and lets it sit for a little bit. And she kind of like pokes around at it, and she reads it, and she looks up, and she's just like, well, seems he is dead.
That happens when you go to the Ashes.
I'm going to turn to laughter. What are the Ashes?
It's my home area. It's not great.
The Ashes are where most tieflings come from. Most people believe that tieflings were simply born of demonic blood, which is not the case, actually. Tieflings used to be humans or elves or other humanoid races just like us. But some sort of magical thing, affected their genetic structure and changed the way they look, giving them different colored skin, making them grow horns or tails or claws or different teeth, different eye colors than normal people. So the term tiefling is considered a racial differentiator. We'll say that. But since they've been referred to as tieflings for so long, they have warmed into that term as their own race.
Interesting.
Yes.
What was he going to study in the ashes?
He was more going there to see if the earthquake had affected the area. Some of the other professors' theories were that something pierced the weave, allowing it to unravel enough for the structure of our plane to become weaker. So much so to the point that portals to other planes of existence open up at random in different areas. They have had reports throughout the week that some portals have opened up. However, I believe that could just be attributed to highly skilled mages and other planes, but
Who's
Super excited.
my
about
roommates,
those
I'm so
other-
sorry.
Other portals being opened up.
No. They're my roommates, I'm so sorry. But she's like, I chalk this up to powerful mages and other planes.
Oh, let's hope.
I also hope so. And as soon as she says, I also hope so, you feel the earth shake again.
Ooh.
And
after...
Please tell me that's normal here.
That is not normal here, actually. And after the earth stops shaking, you hear screams outside.
No.
I'm gonna run and see what's going on.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
Dr. T also follows and follows you guys outside to the plateau of the ziggurat to see what's happening. And you look out over the city because this building is tall enough that you can basically see the entire city. You look out over the city and just see like spots of smoke in different areas, like there have been fires that have been set there. And you see this large, hulking, like almost crab-like creature crawling through the town and just wreaking havoc.
I don't think that's right.
Oh,
It's not
that's
right.
totally normal. What are you talking about?
Dr. T looks down at
Yes, I can
Jensen
do
and is just like, you're not a very positive person, are you?
No, not really.
Any
And-
idea what that is?
I would like to study it, and do you know your enemy on it?
We will actually do that next time.
Woot woot.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh, they're coming.
all right.
Okay, I'm gonna write "know your enemy" next to it so I know.
Mhm. And leave you guys on a good cliffhanger. But to answer your question, Corey, Dr. T is just like, I have no idea what that is.
Okay. Well, I know what time it is. It's time for Geek Recommendations.
Yay!
Yay!
I actually did some of them.
I actually watched almost all of them.
Nice.
I did all of them.
Nice. What did I suggest? I suggested Smiling Friends, duh.
Yes.
I missed. Unfortunately, I missed yours, Simon, and I still don't have a Hulu. So.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
That's okay.
So, we'll just go through Slack as usual. I had you guys watch Garthnar and Friends.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
I loved it.
Quite amusing. Those were very amusing.
Did you guys make it to Spit Lizards and Special Rocks?
No.
I didn't. I watched the first few and I just started calling him the Viking Wizard.
I don't think so.
That has my favorite interaction because he talks about how he became friends with death.
All right.
I watched it for like a solid hour. It just kept going to like the next one, and I'm just like, oh heck yeah, keep going.
Yeah.
And then I'm
It
like,
hasn't updated, so I still don't know what has happened.
Did
Like-
question, was that him becoming friends with death? Was that from him drawing the death card from the deck of many things?
No. So it's just him, and he was like, because they're about to go face off a dragon. And they're like, Gothnar, you need to be quiet. Not all of us have your ability to evade death. And he goes, Death's not a bad guy. You know, I told him to come back. He tried to visit me one time. I told him to come back later. Tell him it was a better time. And they're just like, you what? And it's so funny.
Yeah.
They're like, you told Tess it wasn't a good time.
That's funny.
That works?
Apparently.
That sounds like a
When you're
really cool
Grotnar.
idea for a character.
I loved it so much. Like,
Yeah.
or when he makes friends with the druid, and it's like new friend, and then my favorite one was with the druid and sing song band.
Yes, sing song man.
Yes.
And the warlock or wizard, and he's like, Garthenark don't feel so good. And
Yes.
then it's like, go ask someone else to heal you. And then the bard's like, I'll heal you. And Garthenark's like, no, I feel better. I don't trust German magic. Oh, that one made me so happy.
Gosh.
I'll let you guys go ahead and rate it.
I will give it a 4 out of 5 bearded wizards. Just because I think that the character is so funny, and role playing is such a big part of D&D for me. So that's he killed it. It was amazing.
Definitely. I love roleplaying. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5. Garthenark and magic rope to take away strength.
I'll give it 4.5 out of 5 chucked bandits.
Yeah.
That's an earlier episode. I didn't watch all of them. He was going for the new record.
I will give it a 5 out of 5 teeny tiny clerics.
Yeah.
I love teeny tiny cleric.
Yeah.
Simon, you has watched Smiling Friends.
It's a funny show. It's funny,
but
it's not everybody's type of humor.
It's just the art style of the guy who they're trying to make smile.
Oh yeah, where he's like, what's the point of living?
It honestly disturbed me.
Oh yeah, that's the point. It's an Adult Swim show. It's supposed to be.
I was so uncomfortable watching.
Yeah, I did not enjoy. And in the very beginning, when it's like, I hope you don't mind me eating.
Oh, you don't have a problem with people eating in front of you, do you? There's like, no.
Yeah, that plot twist.
No.
That was a weird.
That was really funny though.
And
I'm just like,
I think it's really funny though because it seems so intimate, and it's like, oh wow, he really cares for this strange bean-shaped thing that he has coddled up to his chest. Oh,
Yeah.
it's funny.
It was a time. It was definitely a time.
it was something.
I am gonna give it a 3 out of 5 cheeses.
Okay, yeah.
I don't even know what I want to rate this. I'll give it like 1.5 to 2 out of 5 smiley faces.
Okay, that's
I
fair.
know it's a little harsh, but like
It's rough. It's a rough show.
Yeah, like the animation got me, and I'm just like, I was so uncomfy the entire time. I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, on to the next one.
Yeah. It's messed up, but it's funny.
Quickly moving.
Holly?
I will give it a 2.5 out of 5 Pym families.
Yeah,
I was
okay.
so confused.
No, it's totally fine. It's a really weird
There were
premise.
so many of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a really weird premise. I obviously give it like a 5 out of 5 Glock 50s. Because he's holding the gun to his head the whole time until the party.
Yeah.
Oh God, that scene killed me. Oh.
Oh, okay.
Corbin, did you get a chance to watch it?
No, that's
Okay.
There was, like I said too, I wasn't able to get to. So
I will admit, like, kind of the end part was slightly funny with all like the purple creatures.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
party.
Yeah.
Like, that was.
I just wanted to dance. He slowly bleeds out. Yeah, I don't know. I'm also just a morbid person, so I thought it was really funny.
All right. Molly, you have watched Dairy Girls.
Yep.
I didn't get to see Dairy Girls. I was
Oh.
I
And as I
tried to
said, I
fit
don't-
everything in yesterday, and I only got I got through everything up to Corbett's recommendation because I wanted to get everything out of the way before I did Netflix or anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I don't have Netflix, so
It was interesting.
Yeah.
Just like
it was interesting. Pause.
I have been like rewatching it on and off. So I was at season 1, episode like 4 or something like that. It was the one with the priest, and they were convinced that the statue of Mary was crying.
Yes.
Oh, I love that one.
I watched the first episode in the first season, and it's very interesting. Oh, I don't know which friend it is, but she drives me crazy. But otherwise, like, I love the character James. so much.
James.
James is the best.
Yeah, poor
He
James.
puts up with so much.
I don't know. I love all of them.
It's very farcical.
Mhm.
Like, if there's just
Yeah.
a good word to describe this show, it is like a farce.
Yeah. I am going to give this a 5 out of 5 Orlas. Kenzie?
Or like a. I just want to say 5 out of 5 just because of James.
Yeah.
Honestly, like he's a sweet bean, and I love him.
Yep. They do not stop picking on him for being British.
No,
Okay, and I
They
find,
do not.
so are they in where are they at?
they're in Ireland.
Ireland.
They're in
Okay,
Ireland.
thought so, but I wasn't like 100% sure. But they just pick on him, and it makes me like I'm just like, no, James, you sweet bean.
Poor baby.
Fine. It's not like one of them's his cousin or anything.
No, his family would
No,
never do
really.
that.
Never.
Family would never do that.
All right, Kenzie, you have listened to Heilung, the Futha
Futha.
album.
Man, I love me
I was
some of this
wondering
stuff.
what demonic hellscape did I step into when I started that video. I was like, oh my gosh, what is
It's
this?
really cool. It's
Okay.
It
really
was very
cool.
cool, but I was like, what the heck am I listening to?
So I didn't watch the like YouTube videos or anything because I have it on Apple Music, so I have just the music. I don't have the videos.
Yeah.
The videos are weird.
I bet because they dress up as ancient like creatures.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But no, so like I said last week's, their background is like German and Norwegian.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why I wanted you guys to do this is because Hellblade 2 Sienna's Sacrifice I don't okay, but it's like from the Sienna's Sacrifice not trilogy, but either way, it's a video game. And it was in the trailer, and it was like the music, and it was so cool.
Nice.
I am going to give it a 4 out of 5. What?
I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5 deer people. That's like the album art, or not the album art. That's like the profile picture that they use for Spotify. Is this person in like deer antlers and.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5 tongue rolls. They really like doing that a lot.
It was a little weird because I didn't like the first song. It was
Really?
Some of their songs I don't like, so I'll just kind of skip it.
I don't know. It was a lot of. I like more melodic things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily like heavy lyric screaming. So that
Almost
kind of
curious
threw me
if I
at
watched-
first.
And they have that in some of them, and then they don't have that in other ones. So it's like, and I I literally
Yeah.
found it.
The full
I
album.
skipped through the songs, and it was like I liked some of them, and then some parts I didn't. But like overall, it was rather good, and I understand why it was in a video game trailer.
Yeah.
I really do. So I think I'm gonna give them a 3 out of 5 screaming. I don't know.
Mackenzie, what language are they speaking in it?
It is ancient Germanic. Germanic.
Germanic.
Sorry.
Corey's gone.
There we go.
Sorry.
Corey left.
Oh, I think I have it on my iPad.
Simon, is this your hostile takeover taking effect?
No, this is not.
Plot twist.
He has
It's
one.
mine.
Oh no!
Oh, her computer
I
died.
knew it. Oh, that's.
Dang.
Oh no, Corey. Her
That's
computer
okay.
died.
Her computer died.
Oh, no.
That's okay.
But no, it's dramatic runic inscriptions from the Bronze Age, Iron Age, and the Viking Age.
Wow, it was very
It's
cool though.
intense. It's
But
awesome.
It's interesting what you said, Molly. Again, I listened to the full album that they had, that was the YouTube link, and it was like a full hour of it. And the first couple of songs I heard, I'm like listening to, I'm like, I could almost listen to this as background music because it was. Maybe I just didn't get to the later songs, but the songs I listened to, it was actually kind of melodic, melodious, and they were obviously speaking softly, but it was very interesting. Aside from that demonic chanting opening.
I don't know. The first song that Spotify has was very.
Corey's back. Yay, Corey's back.
I'm back. Sorry, my
Yeah, I
computer
think
died.
that's the main difference, though, Molly. I watched the full album on YouTube while you were on Spotify, so we probably heard different songs. So.
Mhm.
So, Corbett, you has watched Doom Eternal on Critical Role.
Yes. What did you guys think of it?
Man, that was fun.
I
That
know,
was a fun show.
It was
was.
so much fun.
It was really interesting. I've never played Doom Eternal, so I had to learn along
Yeah.
with it.
There was a whole lot
Yeah.
you didn't know. Yeah.
Yep.
Sam was learning along with it too.
Mhm.
He
Yeah.
had no idea what he was doing. So
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
the same thing.
I felt like Matthew did a good job of like explaining what was going on,
Mhm.
which was helpful.
Yeah, yeah.
He's amazing. He always does a great
He's
job.
awesome. So.
Mhm.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I think if I have known like what Doom Eternal was
Mhm.
beforehand, I could have enjoyed it more.
Or just Doom in general. Yeah.
Yeah. So for this, I am going to give it a 4 out of 5 Phyllis's.
That was
Guess
mine.
He was your favorite.
Yeah, I love Phyllis.
I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 5 out of 5. Mancubus!
Yeah.
Man, I love that character. That was funny.
Laura was
That
having
was
a good time.
great.
I got no hands.
I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5. Extreme role playing.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I will give it a 4 out of 5 hand cannons.
Yes. Those. Oh man,
Yeah, yeah.
fun stuff.
That's fun.
All right. So for this week, I'm going to have you guys watch the first episode of Lock and Key on Netflix.
All right.
I need to get into that. So.
I've been watching that with former Nerdmageddon member and longtime friend Johnny with Netflix Party. So I hope you guys get to enjoy it as much as I do. I hope you hate Bodhi. Everyone needs to hate Bodhi.
Bodhi, oldest brother?
Youngest.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Cody did nothing wrong.
I only know that the sister's name is Kinsey, and it ends with a Y.
Oh, trust me, if you get farther past the first episode, you and I can talk all about her.
Oh, I watched episode 7 because I kind of hopped in with my boyfriend's mom because we sat down and watched it.
What did you say it was? Lock and Key?
Yes, Lock and Key. L-O-C-K-E
Yeah.
and Key.
See here, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and geek amend the Adventure Zone Balance season. I guess you could call it like season, but it's the first episode of the first season of the first arc. It's called There Be Gerblins, episode 1. It's with the same guys who did My Brother and Me that I geek amended a while ago.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
So it's the McElroy brothers and their dad, Clint
Okay.
McElroy. They're all playing D&D, and Griffin is the DM. It's some of the funniest stuff I've ever seen. You're gonna love Justin's character. It's really goofy in like the first arc, and if you keep listening, it gets a little bit more serious as time goes on and it gets more heartfelt. Otherwise, it's just like everybody's just a huge goofball, and I love it. It's way more lighthearted than any other D&D podcast I've ever heard. So,
All right.
good stuff. It's on Spotify too, so it's easy.
Okay.
To find.
If I can go next.
Okay.
I want.
Shoot.
I'm gonna geek amend an older Denzel Washington movie called The Book of Eli. Not sure if any of you guys have seen it or heard of it. It is on Hulu. I looked it up. You can find it on there. It is a post-apocalyptic movie about a guy walking across America with a book and his journey across America through it. It's very cool, very atmospheric. I know you guys probably won't care, but I should warn you, it is rated R for very graphic violence and for language. But again, I don't think you guys will care about that. But.
It's got a great twist too.
Oh, it's so good. Oh, so you have seen it, Simon?
I have seen it, yes.
Oh, it's so good.
I love the movie. It's so good.
The soundtrack is one of the best parts about it too. So just fantastic. So yeah, geek amend that.
All right.
You don't
So
amend it out?
I'm kind of debating on if I want to geek amend Santa Sacrifice 2, the trailer on YouTube, because I can't think of anything else.
Okay.
If you want more time, I can go.
Yeah, go. Yeah, please.
Okay. So I'm going to geek amend a musical. So I'm going to send you guys the YouTube link. You don't have to watch all of it because it is a commitment, but it's called Starship. It's by Star Kid, who did a Harry Potter musical.
Oh no.
Black Friday is their newest one. They've also done a Star Wars parody and a lot of other things. So this is about space and aliens and Starship Rangers. It's a really good one. I love the main character. He's played by, I think it's Joey Richter, who plays Ron in the Harry Potter musical. He's just really great. I love all the songs. It's very good. There's a major strange theme to it, though.
Bring it on.
Okay, I found exactly what I want to do because I got super excited. I totally forgot about it until now.
Oh, good.
So, ever since I was little, always watched Crocodile Hunter and the Irwins, and so Saturday, July 18th at 6:30 p.m. on Animal Planet, they're doing a special called Crikey. It's the Irwins' wedding.
Oh,
So they're showing the wedding of Bindi and her husband.
that's adorable.
That is adorable.
And they're going to be talking about how they all felt, her brother Robert walking her down the aisle, what she decided to do, with her dress kind of stuff, and the proposal. They're going to talk about all of that, and I'm super excited.
Okay.
I respect that, Mackenzie, the Crocodile Hunter, Steve Irwin. He was my childhood hero. So, and when he died, it's one of the few times in my life I've openly wept. So
I cried.
It was my first experience with death.
Unfortunately for me, it was the same for me, and it was also the same week that my first grandmother died. They both died in the same week, so it was a very tough week for, I think I was 8, so 8-year-old me. So
I didn't have that, but the school allowed me an absence, though, which was kind of awesome.
You have an absence for that.
Yeah, I got an absence because I was sad about a death. And the other second time that has ever happened was Robin Williams.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, these all sound like fun.
I'm so
Gonna get
excited
some
for the
feels?
wedding.
They do sound like fun. I'll see about getting to them. Obviously the one that can. So
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for joining. Simon, thank you again for hosting D&D.
yes,
Of course.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you all for watching. And as always, you nerd it
Heard it
here
here
first.
first.